we've gotten Mr. Daniel Fenyi on the line, where education is changing the thoughts on the calls by the Presbyterian Church for a review of the free SHS to address the challenges within the system. Mr. Fenyi, good morning. And I pay no more saying.
Good morning, Yamiada Romana was one.
Now, there have been calls for a free SHS program to be reviewed. I don't know your take, sir, whether you think, sir, indeed we need to have a look at a review of the system. Should we?
Mamindasin, I mean, Cheti phone, and Yasha phone. Now, the truth is that apart from the free SHS, forget about the free SHS. Everybody needs to review their own lives from time to time. Into the concept of review and Shadan so technical, like the way because of the free SHS, we have made review look like some seriously technical issue. No, if you were a teacher, if you were a classroom teacher, at the end of every term, else I was gonna say, now review teaching methods, teaching strategies. It be one color, work examination, what results in the bar. Or share number of students or more failure or more passing, then you sit down to review how our the trainer is if Sana may assure so being a medical doctor from time to time, looking at the number of patients when yareba the pattern of sickness, causes of the sick, else on also tenacity or review the way you are attending to patients. If you craft over time, he may have to move from the office to now go into the community to educate people, say, dangerous, people should not drink. So he shouldn't sit, the doctor would not have to sit in the hospital and wait to say, citizens, no one means will be I mean, accountant, I believe, say, from time to time, auditors go to them to audit their accounts and into almost every aspect of life, every profession, every institution, I believe, say, from time to time, they sit to review what they have done, where they have come from, number one, what they have done currently, number two, and what should be done going forward in the future. This is so basic. It is from that background, Emma relevant that the free SHS, which has been in existence for about 5 years and has now produced, I think, about 2 or 3 graduates, free SHS graduates. It is from this context that the need for review becomes necessary. So, okay, policy in Yaba, 5 years in it. Yen should be a taking the from. At the time of free SHS in Ebano, how many students were in school? What was their conditions? Lesson hours, teachers and infrastructure in the school, at the time we were taking off. Since you know, 5 years we have been into the system. Currently, so how many hours do they have for their lessons? The number of teachers in the school environment, what's happening? Then, based on this assessment, you make a decision for the future. Into where the sanka yawo omayanka nyansa wumu anka we anya issue kra. In fact, in abine no be initiate to say no. Men and the policy by 5 years in it. Stakeholders, all of us, let's go into a meeting. National stakeholders meeting or national stakeholders forum. Head teachers come, directors of education come, CSOs come, media come, PTA come, teachers come, government or Ministry of Education, Monso Mombra, the stakeholders in this education system, and even the student representations, SRC formal, Munina Mombra. Mr. Made the policy by 5 years in it. Mona affect them directly, students affect them directly, parents also affect them. Then what are your observations? What are the challenges? What are the positives or the strengths? What are the challenges? Now going forward, you make a decision. Yeah, well, my answer will more and can buy the price. I did
but Obi unconscious said these things you classify as reviews and now we personal company reviews. Obi unconscious said the Ministry of Education gets feedback from the GES at all the various secondary schools through the headmasters, through the students' representatives, that the school prefects and co. That informs decisions that will take over a period. For instance, Initially, yes, you run a double track system. We have been told a double track system. Are all these not processes are leading to these reviews within the system?
My brother, so let me start from the double track before I get into the substance of your concern. I don't remember, I don't know the last time you yourself or your media outlet visited the senior high schools. But Obi Obakacha was a double track here to be Obwa. He's lying, and I mean to say bimpo. The person is lying. We are still doing a double tracking system.
Oh, really?
That is my brother. My brother. Visit the which level did they start from? Because those who wrote BEC, school somewhere February or March, they did the double track, and their seniors are doing the double track. So who and when, and they be an prayer no then I can give everybody the benefit of doubt. But as of yesterday, we're doing double tracking system in this country.
And your gold, green,
we have them. The only difference is that it seems to now be taking a regularized shape. It seems we are normalizing it. That's why it is no longer an issue. I've spoken about it that double tracking system is not a normal education system. But it seems that now, no, sana is a school quarter. Yes, I'm a school quarter. My brother, if it is from the Ministry of Education, they are lying, and I can't say they won't try and throw. And this one is even the parents who are more concerned. We can consult. In fact, the best people to consult are the student and the parent, not somebody who sits in an air-conditioned office in Accra. So that's for the double tracking system. Now
okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
As to whether they take feedback from the various stakeholders, yes, to some extent, we can say that they may take feedback. But the point is that let us not forget, say, policy in Lankasa, by its nature, it's a political policy. Or the year the manifesto, or the year the campaign, or by from the get-go, they didn't need anybody's input. It was their policy from national level downstream. However, going forward, because of still a political policy, I am sure they will not be able to welcome extreme opinions or suggestions that does not seem to align with the political line. That's where an open-ended or open forum kind of stakeholder engagement will be more ideal. Let me give you an example. I tell you that most of the regional directors of education, and these positions are by appointment. If the government has appointed you to be the central regional director of education, and you have something against the free SHS, can you say it? However, if you call that normal parent who is a market woman for a meeting on free SHS, she doesn't lose anything. She doesn't gain anything. She can tell you the realities on her experiences, what she's going through, the challenges, what is good. So feedback from appointees are normally not a reflection of the reality. Their feedback are normally designed to keep them safe for their positions. Who would want to lose their job? If you want a very trusted feedback, a feedback that really reflects reality, stakeholders now engage all of them: the teachers, the parents, the students themselves, regional directors of education, district directors, Ministry of Education, and all these people. Put them in a room and let them talk.
Now that's the issue. They put them in a room. Should we be put in a room, seeing that we have had former vice chancellors, we have had professors, we have had educationists, all ask church, leaders who matter, all asking for a government to take a second look at a free SHS? Are these calls not enough? Civil society organizations who have their concentration in education, all of them asking for us to have a review of the program. Should we necessarily have to meet at a confab and say that this is where we are going to brainstorm to know what next to do?
Maybe in Kenya culture say, on mine, Sankanyansa wumua, inka review the crowd will come from government. Inka it won't come from citizens up. But I'm saying these former vice chancellors, some of them are even current vice chancellors, principals of various tertiary institutions, and even non-tertiary institutions, religious leaders, all of them are calling for review. But Chrono Yansin into someone quickly. Look, as we speak now, from the way I made my comment, somebody has already boxed me into a political party. No matter how genuine, no matter how I make sense, box me. So many of these relevant key stakeholders, people have boxed them already. So when they talk, it appears say we there or NDC, say we do a CPP, into the NPP for policy. For us to have what seems like a non-partisan discussion, that's where this calls for all the various stakeholders to come on board, and it becomes very necessary. And it may not necessarily be say we are going to have one big conference at Accra. It can be a regional kind of engagement. It can even be the government sending representatives to move from schools to meet their PTAs. So, for example, here for Central Regional, you pick say about 10, and this is how we do in research. Research, and you don't engage all participants. You use a methodology to get your sample and then investigate. So you may even pick representatives of the government from the Ministry of Education. Hey, this team or team A, go to Central Region. When you go, let's say there are 50 secondary schools in the Central Region. Pick 18 of them. Pick one from this zone, pick one from this zone, pick one from this zone, and let them meet and have the discussion. Team B, go to voter region. So it is not necessarily the case conference room or hotel room conference. And when we do that, look, whether we like it or not, the free SHS needs a review.
All right.
Now, the review should be informed by research. We just feel that we should review it entire, but at least there should be some research that would inform the review. Personally, I believe people's luxuries and personal choices and opinions should not be funded by our taxes. For example, Akolanu Wuje just try. Yeah, the opportunity I'm going to unpick 5 schools. Sometimes I to me 3 days, sometimes to me 1 week. So I'm coffee, one will parents and quiet discussion. Or now one settle on the number of schools or the kind of schools I'm open 5. So akolani coffee, no any parent could discuss it. Na akolana wa akra, but parents and say, oh, what they for this adult. First choice, or second choice for Prempe and also Kumasa, this other Central Region, Prempe Washanti. Ujia fa Tamale Senior High and also Tamale. Na parents and Ankolani na omaya this choice. Akolana wakra no omaya this choice. Say nipa way by these choices are that choice na why no enya me tax na say ye di chia idea on the personal decision they take. Okay, inti papa na wa maneba ote laboni no laboni senior high school esini fie nechi what's your pair no or this at the level Central Region. The man should be allowed to pay for the accommodation of the child.
All right.
Nearby say your school fees ni free because and what I am saying is what is practiced in even the developed countries. Say Obakono school fees and ICT fees more and those core fees in England. Abaya for England, but Ebiania will be baby I will be that. Ataria will be share and a sign your money dear. You the parents, you pay for these things. Now the irony is this. Let me end with this.
Okay.
The irony is this. Yakobobosia na ye de be ye free SHS no. Nti eduane a ye nkwala no wodi ni nyina boarding fees na ade ye de bosia na echia. Okay. In crofo na yakobobosia o mo ho no. Ye developed countries na ye kono. Woma womba ni bisa. Ufi so mu ejiminti ana. Are they fully say woman no woma womba ni aduane, woma womba ni baby ombeda. While we parents come and fund and pay and buy food for your own child. Wo wia no mo sika what the one yansa agada no na ye mo yakobo na bosia with interest.
All right, Mr. Fenyi, we would have to end it here. I bet. But also the place Ojembe now near D and come happy morning show no as well.